So Scott Wedgewood says to Mackenzie Blackwood, anything you can do, I can do as well. I don't want to say better, but as well. So back-to-back shutouts for the Avalanche. Let's talk about it. New episode of Locked On Avalanche coming at you.
You're Locked On Avalanche, your daily podcast on the Colorado Avalanche. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Locked On Avalanche, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chris Micieli. Joining me, as always, Mr. Zach Pearson. Thank you for tuning in, making it your first listen of the day, and for making the Locked On Podcast Network the number one sports podcast network in the country. Always appreciated. And if you want to get in on our conversation, join our subtext links in the show notes below. Chat with us one-on-one, get your opinion, everything Avalanche related, and share it on this very podcast. We'll get to them a little bit later. But the Avalanche just seem to be on, I hate to use the word cruise control because that just makes it seem like there's no effort involved. But, you know, they just keep winning, and back-to-backs stink. Nobody likes back-to-backs. Nobody likes road back-to-backs. So I think like the common like consensus is for a back-to-back, hey, if you can win at least like one of those two, that's a plus. Yeah. So anything more than 2 points is great. To get 4 is great. To get all 4 points in shutout fashion it's like, man, like what can't this team do right now other than score on the power play?
or play a good first period after the last two games.
Yeah.
But no, they're rolling. It's so crazy to see. There was the comment, I guess, from Bednar that basically said, if Blackwood, does Blackwood need more time to, playing time in order to get back into the groove? And Bednar said, that's a Blackwood problem. We're going to play the goaltender who's playing better. And so Blackwood goes out and shuts out the Nashville Predators in good fashion. Nashville put a lot of pressure on Mackenzie Blackwood. And then Scott Wedgewood goes, well, if you're going to get a shutout, I guess I better do the exact same thing. And at least in the first period, my goodness, that was an all Chicago period. The Avs had 2 shots on goal total in the first period to, I think it was 11 for Chicago. Like, absolutely just 100% Chicago period. So to have goaltenders back-to-back do that, and like you said, the back-to-back games in general, every time, okay, well, you got 2 points out of it. You got 3 points out of it. We feel really good. One of them's an overtime loss. Even one of them's a regulation loss. Like, back-to-backs are almost like scheduled losses on a lot of people's minds. When you're playing teams that are well below where you are in, like, every category, basically, for the season, you don't necessarily say it's a scheduled loss, but you're going to be tired. You're going to have a rough time going at it. And to come out with 4 points and allow 0 goals. The Avs scored basically 2 goals over those 2 days because the two last ones against Nashville were empty netters. So you really scored 2 goals in 2 days and came away with 2 wins. Absurd.
I'll take it. You're not going to be, this isn't going to be like a cruise control. A hockey season is difficult. A hockey game is difficult. So while the Avs record looks just gaudy, it doesn't mean you're just going to have like these smooth sailing games. And if you have to grind for a game, it doesn't mean that you're losing, track of anything, or that you've lost whatever it is that you had. I look at it the other way. Like, no, like you're still winning games, and I prefer you to win games in different fashions, in different modes, because that just seasons you for the playoffs, because those games are going to be close. So if you have a season worth of blowout wins, that's not going to happen. You're not tested. You're not battle tested. So while it's the Predators who are at the bottom of the division, and while it's the Blackhawks who are towards the bottom of the division, but playing much better hockey. Much better hockey than really anybody really thought they were. And they're going to use a game like this as like a litmus test to, hey, like, we're above 500 right now. We're playing okay hockey. Let's go out and beat the team that's on a roll. let's go out and beat the team that everybody is the consensus number one right now. So, you knew you were going to get a best effort from them. And plus, hey, they want to take advantage of you being on that back-to-back. I don't think they were, right? I didn't look at their schedule.
No, so both teams played 3 games in 4 days, but
They
I
did have
think
the day
Chicago
off.
did a back-to-back, then a day off in the Avs, where the Avs had the game, then the day off, then the back-to-back.
Yes, that's true. And the Sabres are coming off a loss, or I said the Sabres. That's because who they played. The Blackhawks are coming off a loss to the Sabres, where they gave up 9 goals. So
Yep.
you don't want to turn things around, right? So this
Yeah.
thing that you were going to get the best shot from the Blackhawks, you got it in the first. You mentioned the shots on goal. That was just only part of the story. Everything
Oh,
was Chicago. Everything.
Yeah. Absolutely. That was a complete Chicago period. Like,
They
that didn't
dominated
even
it.
feel like the Avs were ready to go. Outside of Scott Wedgewood, the Avs were not ready to go, which honestly feels very similar to yesterday's game against
Yep.
Nashville. Is outside of, and it was a good shot by Brent Burns, not to take anything away from that, but that was just excellent positioning, and you fired it, and it got past Saros. That was the only thing any skater did for the Avalanche, and then it was Mackenzie Blackwood. So you have 2 first periods in 2 games in a row where your goaltenders keep you in the position to win the game, and they did it in spectacular fashion. I like how the Avs responded in both games after the first period, especially tonight. I actually thought that second period was great for the Avs. They took
totally.
They took a ton of control back in that period.
Yeah.
And I mean, Cale Makar with his reindeer goblin goal was fantastic. We absolutely enjoyed the heck out of that.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything though, you just put yourself into good positions throughout that entire period, and that's what happens when you're putting yourself in a good position. That rebound comes to Cale. It's a relatively easy tap in for him. Relatively
for him.
For him.
Anybody like
I'd
that?
missed.
That was insane. That shot that he took.
Yeah.
It's against his body. He's skating to the left. He has to shoot across his body, and to have a release like that and have pinpoint accuracy like that. That shot and that goal was just a thing of beauty. It was incredible.
He makes it look easy.
Effortless.
Like, I watched it 8-9 times, and it doesn't look like he even has to try. And that's what I say by, like, it's an easy goal for him. You could pay me $1 million if I made that shot one time out of 100 chances, and I would not be making that $1 million.
Yeah.
But Cale Makar just makes it look like, I'm in the right spot. Here we go.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean by an easy goal for him. Not to say like this was a open mouth, tap it in, and nobody's there. But I think that's good play.
It was an incredible play. And you mentioned the first period, and it was rough. And it's nice to see, especially in the second game of back-to-back. I want to say, like, these guys are in tremendous shape, but you are a little bit tired. And after the game on Saturday against Nashville, where they just really dominated you for almost that entire game, to come out and have a first period like that. I'm not going to say like there's no panic button pressing or anything like that, but it's like, what's going on? Like you played 3 periods of you were, the down team in that game. You come out in this one and Chicago kind of handed it to you in the first. You're lucky to be tied at 0. You don't have that Brent Burns goal that you can kind of just play around with in this game. And you're wondering, going to say like, okay, how are you going to come out in the second here? And it was a completely different team. Like, 11-2, you got outshot in the first. You outshot them 18-1, I believe it was, in the second.
Was it? Did they take one off? Because when I saw it, originally it was 19.
It was originally 19. I saw on the app that I use, it went down to 18.
Okay.
On NHL.com right now, it's 19. But look at what we're doing. We're arguing if it's 18-1 or 19-1.
I know.
Who cares? So
Right.
that's just total domination. And we get to the stats. I'll show the the flow chart where it's visible, like you can see it, but you can see the first period too. But third period was also exciting. So let's get a break in. We'll discuss kind of like the ending to this game. And then Scott Wedgewood, we just briefly mentioned him, but he how Mackenzie Blackwood was the reason for the win in Nashville. Scott Wedgewood, pretty much the same. He's a big the reason why they won this one in 1-0 fashion. So we'll talk about that. We got our sound check, stats, all that fun stuff after this. First, we're going to hear from Game Time. Hockey season, it's officially here. Nothing beats being in the arena for those opening games. But let's get real. Getting tickets can be a total headache between waiting in queues, surprise fees, and prices that jump right before checkout. It's easy to get frustrated when all you want to do is cheer on your favorite team. And that is where Game Time comes into play, the app that gives fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NHL tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. So take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms do apply, and that code again is LOCKEDONNHL, LOCKEDON NHL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go with Game Time. Also brought to you by Doer and Doer pants and clothing. We've been talking about Doer for a few weeks now. Yes, we own some pants and some. You own the shirt. I own the flannel top. Phenomenal pants and shirts.
Can't be beat. Cannot be beat.
So good. And not just saying that because they're a sponsor. I'm sure people think that. No, I am a jean guy where it's like, yes, I'm the one pant guy. And that's all I'll wear. Doer has replaced my former jean, which needed to be replaced. They were overdue to be replaced. So Doer came along at a perfect time. So thank you, Doer. But yeah, they are my everyday jean. Wore them today. Went to a Comic-Con convention up the road. Wore them today. They're 5 times the stretch of traditional denim. They're antibacterial, meaning your jeans stay fresher longer. So you can wear more and wash less. And they're made with Cool Max that regulates your body temperature and wicks moisture. So it keeps you cool and comfortable as the temperature changes, which of course, this time of year, it is doing that. Simply put, Doer makes the world's most comfortable pants without having to sacrifice on style. Like I said, they will be your go-to jean day in and day out. And you can check Doer out in store right here in Denver. They're at 2621. Tell them the name of the street, Zach.
Larimer Street.
There you go. You can pick up a pair for yourself, or we are in the holiday season. They make amazing holiday gifts. Mention the promo code Locked On Denver in store to get 15% off of your first order, or you can check them out online at shopdoer.com, DUER.com/LockedOnDenver for that 15% off online as well. Shopdoer.com/LockedOnDenver. Go there today. You won't regret it. All right. So you knew like 1-0 games, even the one in with Nashville, exciting endings to games like this, right? It's always nice to come out on top. This one you didn't know, like could as good as Wedgewood was, were they going to get one that just sneaks by them? They had, I give the Avalanche a lot of credit defensively. I thought they did a good job defensively in this game. But there were a couple moments where there was just a lapse, and Chicago had a good shot on goal, and that's what we've been saying since last year. You have goalies now that if a mistake is made, can bail out his defense. And they were there. They had a couple shots, but Wedgewood knocked them aside.
Made his biggest save, I thought, of the night, basically right before the empty net opportunity for Landeskog. It just seemed like he popped almost up out of the. I thought he was out of position. I thought it was going to be a goal. All of a sudden, boom, there's Wedgewood. Saves made. Rebound comes out. Avs take it up the other way. Definitely should have been a Landeskog empty netter, but instead of giving him a birthday present, the Blackhawks stood in the way and blocked the shot.
I know.
Very, very rude, by the way, Chicago. I want you guys to know that is not polite. You don't do that to a guy on his birthday.
You don't do that to Gabe Landeskog.
I know.
on any day, but especially on his birthday. Yeah.
But no, Wedgewood played phenomenal, especially through the first, and then had some really big time saves, including that last one in the third
Huge.
period. I was very impressed with his game.
Yep.
And he even said in the post game, he was talking to Blackwood about it, that like going into the third period, he said he felt very much the same way about this game as Blackwood felt about the previous game.
Yeah.
And so they were both just laser focused, completely locked in. And man, it showed because.
And I think we got to give Spencer Knight a lot of credit here too. Like he played great.
Good.
You had that goal from Makar, and then it wasn't long after that they almost had another one with Ross Colton, where it kind of like trickled behind him, but it kind of just trickled off to the side, went right to the side of the post, and Colton's hacking away at it. But he got enough of it where it didn't have enough momentum to get into the net. There was that was a breakaway that Colton had.
That's what I was going to bring up. Yeah,
I think he made a little bit too many moves in close to get it past him. But
so I got to give a lot of credit to Knight there for waiting it out, because when Colton first moved over to the right, Spencer Knight started to push off to what would be his left, but kept that right leg far enough back that he was able to seal off that post. Yeah. And I was like, my goodness, that should have been a goal for Ross Colton for sure. Now, this is probably one of those times where I'm actually surprised the Avs didn't pass it back. I thought Colton had a trailer that he was going to pop it back to for sure, but instead he went for the shot, which I appreciate the heck out of. But I agree. Maybe one too many moves. Had he just kept dragging it to his right, Spencer Knight's left, and tried to elevate that puck, that might have gone home. And instead tried to pull it back over. But tons of credit to Spencer Knight for getting that right leg there to seal that off. That was a heck of a save.
I have to go back to the Makar goal quickly, because while we were, just gauding over Cale Makar, we didn't give Tristan Nielsen enough credit for making that play possible. Because Spencer Knight didn't even see him. He tried to clear the puck, and Nielsen with a fantastic intercept and kind of skates around, didn't let it. He didn't get like too fidgety with the puck, right? Because he could have just fired it and done something, but he is calm, cool, collected, kind of skated off to the side a little bit, and he did take a shot, which the rebound shot came from him, but it all started with his intercept of the pass that Knight tried to make. So I didn't want to let that go without crediting him, because without him, that goal, the one goal that the Avs had, didn't happen.
We sit there and talk about just how Cale Makar makes something that no normal human can do look so pedestrian. Right. And we completely forget about the fact that Tristan Nielsen made a great play there. And really probably should have been his goal, because if I'm not mistaken, that one rang off the iron, right? And that's where the rebound came from.
Off the iron. I don't remember.
I thought that one ran off the iron. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But I swear that one hit a post or the crossbar and then bounced over to Cale.
All right. Either way, yeah. I mean, it was all because of him.
Like, great play. Yep.
What did you think about towards the end of the game? The Avs thought they had a power play.
Okay. I'm so glad you brought this up.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would have been kind of a similar power play in the Nashville game. Just, hey, if you score on it, great. But there was like a little bit over 2 minutes left, I think, in the game, right? Like 2:34. Yeah. So if nothing else, you just run 2 minutes off the clock and they have 30 seconds left. Yeah. But they called a penalty on Bertuzzi for tripping. There was no tripping.
No, there wasn't.
But so they overturn it.
I've never seen a penalty overturned.
No, like you can't challenge it. So it wasn't because of a challenge. You can't challenge a penalty.
No,
I'm shocked that they got it wrong. In the
and
first
made the
place.
right call. Yeah,
they did. But how often do you see that?
Never. Once a referee's arm goes up, it's a penalty. Like, that's just what I've been conditioned for, because that's what I've seen.
The only other time I saw it was when Cale Makar said, I didn't commit that.
He waved off his own penalty.
He waved off his own penalty. And that was it. Other than that, because they're not allowed to look at the scoreboard and watch a replay and then base it off of that. They're not allowed to do that. I was shocked.
Absolutely shocked.
So
It felt, and again, I do think they actually got the right call. Now, lots of credit to Bertuzzi there because he did everything he could to give the Avs a power play anyway by not stopping barking at the refs
what was
even
he
after
yelling
they
about?
they overturned your penalty. Like at that point, just shut up and take the win.
You could have
What are
went
you
right back
doing?
in there for.
I thought he was going to. I legitimately
Insubordination's not a
thought he was
penalty.
going back in. Oh
But
my
it was.
goodness.
I don't know what he was angry about. Like be mad. Like before they turned it back, go ahead, yell all you want. But once they get it right, shut up.
Yeah.
Because you could have done more damage to your team because you could have went right back in there.
Don't talk yourself
These are
out
Bertuzzi.
of
What do you
win.
expect?
Yeah, exactly. I know. As soon as I knew it was him, I was like, not surprised.
But very, very interesting play because you don't see bad calls are made all the time. They are not overturned all the time either. So I don't know what they saw. I don't know what made them reverse it. Because I mean, players complain after every single penalty. That's nothing new. I don't know what it was and because yes, he didn't trip. Who was it that fell? I think it was Manson. I think it was Josh Manson fell. But I mean, his stick was close. It was close. I mean, it was there. So
from another angle, I can see why the hand went up, but clearly it wasn't.
No. I'm not saying it was a trip. I'm saying
I know.
I don't know how they what information did you get to overturn it? Who saw it where it actually wasn't his stick? Credit to the rest for doing that. But you don't see that in the NHL where once a penalty is called, it is upheld. Yeah. So, and then did you not think here comes the goal
I totally did
for Chicago after
100%.
Here it comes.
When that got overturned and Bertuzzi didn't get the penalty on himself anyway. And again, credit to him for trying to give the Avs a power play.
Right.
But when it didn't get called and there was no penalty and Mosier says, well, they're going to 5-on-5, or Riker, one of the two says it. And I'm like, okay, so no penalty at all.
Yeah.
I am shocked. I was like, oh God, this is going to be a Spencer Knight to the bench in a wild empty netter. Chicago ties it up in the last second type of situation.
Yep.
But nope, that's where that last Blackwood save ends up coming into play. And they played really well from that point, but my goodness, I got the same, just like that gut feeling where you're like, oh, boo.
Here it comes. Yep. So, and then again, give the Avs credit. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And you wonder how many of these games the Avs would have lost at this time last year.
So many.
A lot of them.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of them.
And we harp on this every episode, I feel like, but I don't want to stop because I don't want it to go unappreciated what a turnaround that goaltending room has been. The Lumberyard is a revelation for this team.
Huge. Yep. Massive. All right. Let's get a last break in here. We'll go over some stats and get to our subtext people and, of course, our sound checks. So we'll do all that next. Let's hear from FanDuel. The NBA is, of course, back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And even if you miss the start of a game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. And like we say, don't listen to us. Because I think on yesterday's episode, we were talking about the Nuggets and the Sacramento Kings. And I asked you, how are the Kings? And they're not so good.
No.
But they won.
Because of course they did.
I know. So who's up next for the Nuggets? You know who their next opponent is?
That is a good question. Let's see.
Because if it's at home, we've been touting this home stretch that, the Broncos, the Avalanche, and the Nuggets have gone on. Is their next game at home or no?
Next game is at the Grizzlies. So,
and they're not that good. I think I saw something where they are a struggling team this year. So, and you're gonna look up
Denver's a 6.5 point favorite.
Okay,
according to CBS. So,
well, if you want, and you're a new customer to FanDuel, and you want to get $300 in bonus bets, put a $5 bet down. And if that thing wins, you get that $300 in bonus bets. Could it be the Nuggets against the Memphis Grizzlies? I'm going to leave that up to you because I don't want to tell you yes or no because, or maybe I should tell you no and then go do it because then you'll win it. So head over to FanDuel.com, sign up and play your game with FanDuel. It's the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, let's get to some stats here. I was going to show the shot pressure chart here because it's interesting on it's not interesting. It kind of goes in line with what we were talking about. It's just the first period was not good, and from there we can I'll show it there if you're watching over on YouTube, and we'll zoom in here. So. There's your first period. That's all Chicago. Those two lines, those vertical lines there, and you can look at the Avalanche one. They very seldom go beyond that furthest line. Look where Chicago is in that first period. That's one of the furthest out there I've ever seen.
You almost need a third line.
Yeah, and it would be beyond that third line too if you did have a third line.
Yeah,
and then there's the second period. Look where the Avalanche are. They're beyond that second. So complete yin and yang from periods 1 to period 2 for these teams. And then you get to the third period. It's more towards Chicago, but, towards the end there, you have a little bit of even between the two teams. But, Chicago's down. They're going to press a little bit more. So that's not surprising. But it was like if you're like, handicapping this game for boxing, it's like, period 1 was 10-9 Chicago, period 2 was 10-8 because the Avs got the goal for the Avalanche, and then the third was 10-10. So the Avs barely escaped this thing, but kind of just shows you.
So I didn't have that until this is the first time I'm seeing that chart, and it definitely says exactly the story of the game that I watched. But the Corsi numbers on National Stat Trick say basically the same thing. 66.67 Corsi for the Blackhawks in period 1. And then they drop down to an 18.4 in all situations in period 2. And then back up to a 63.1 in period 3. I mean, it literally was like 3 individual games.
It's crazy. It really was. If you go all situations, you say 18.4. I think it sounds nicer when you say the Avalanche had 81.5% of the Corsi. That's better to say it that way, but
but then I have to say the Avs had a 33.3 Corsi for in the first period, so that hurts.
I posted out in yesterday's game. I posted out the deserve to win-o-meter after the first period in Nashville, and that was like. I don't remember what it exactly was. It's essentially like 70% to 30% in favor of Nashville. It whittled down a little bit, but it was still at the end of the game in favor of Nashville. It was very similar in the first period of this one. And at the end of the game for this one, the Avs actually tilted it in their favor, where 55% of the time they win this game. Just a strange, like you said, it's really each period was its own game.
Yeah,
it was really its own game. So, and again, the Avs coming out on top of games like this is what you want to see.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just seasons you for the season. So
nope, that's the win any way you can, and it hangs true in all sports. The teams that can find a way to win every style game are the teams that make the best postseason runs. The Avs are proving it right now. So this is exactly like you said. This is exactly what you want to see.
Joe over on Subtext says, boy, we did not deserve that weekend worth of wins. The Lumberyard is hot and I love it. Great to see those two guys locking in and keeping the team above water. His sound check purely by name, but also Pepper rules. Nice time by Pepper, because I've had a nice time and they got peppered.
All right.
I love it. I love it. But somebody brought this up yesterday in the subtext about like not deserving to win. And very rarely do I go there. In yesterday's game, hey, you pulled that out. For this one, you played, after that second period, I can't be on the thing of like, you didn't deserve to win this game because it wasn't a blowout. You didn't score 5 goals. Sometimes you need to grind out 1-0 win. There's nothing wrong with that. So I don't want to go down the road of if they deserved to win it or not. Hey, if Money Puck says they deserve it,
I was going to say, if the deserve to win-o-meter is in our favor, then clearly.
Right. Christina says, Wedge finally getting the shutout. He has so deserved. That's deserving. There you go. That's something that's deserved. Back-to-back shutouts while being on the road is nice. The low-scoring game is slightly unusual for the boys. Also thought Bertuzzi was going to get a misconduct for how hard he was yelling. Wasn't a trip, though, so good recall on the ref's part. Was so hoping a birthday goal from Gabe, but we'll take the win. All of that is true. All of that, we kind of talked about all that, but yeah. I kind of want to see an interview with Bertuzzi. Just what was he so mad about after the fact? Somebody, I really hope
hear a hot mic from the ice on what he was barking.
I don't know. Heather says, wow, what a difference having 2 amazing goalies makes. 1 shutout for each on those back-to-backs. Our woodshed is locked in. Yes, I put up the graphic for the 2 games. I put up donuts for the like actual donuts.
Love
in the graphic. So Heather's asking us, because we posted about the donuts, what's our favorite donut? Do you have a favorite donut?
I do, but nobody's going to be happy with it.
Why would anybody be not? Yeah.
I just love the original glazed donut. I don't like anything fancy on it. Just give me a regular donut.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with
a good old
glazed donut.
Every time that there's the box of donuts comes into work, and all my coworkers are like, oh, I got to get I want this donut. Look at this one. I'm like, there's no original glazed in here. Why would you want that? I'm like, because that's the best donut. That's the one I want.
Are they like, nobody here is 12 years old that works in this office, Zach. Like, why do you want the glaze?
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
No, every once in a while I'll reach for the glaze. Nothing wrong with that. But you got to go Boston cream. Nothing wrong with the Boston cream. That's fantastic.
No, they're all good. I like it. It's just
I'm not crazy about a classic jelly donut.
No, the jelly ones aren't necessarily for me. I don't dig that.
Yeah. So there you go. I guess we're donut fans. Throw out your favorite donut. I did not expect to talk about this on this episode, but
and tell me how wrong I am for my traditional glazed being the best donut. Because again, I get it all the time. So
yeah, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong.
Let me know in the comments just how bad that is.
I think we should just end there. How can we top that other than our sound check? So let's get into that, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So this is where we pick a song that summarizes the most recent game. These songs go up on a playlist on Spotify and on YouTube Music. LOA Soundcheck Volume number 5 or what these songs go on. So throw it out there. What do you got for this 1-0 game?
All right. So they were technically sneaking in, but the Avs were sneaking out. So I had to go with from the Blues Brothers soundtrack. We're going with Minnie the Moocher. Because as that little intro piece plays, the Avs are right out of the weekend with no goals allowed. So Minnie the Moocher by the Blues Brothers, that's the pick for today. Yep. And of course, being in Chicago, got to go for it.
Got to do it. Love it. Perfect one. I'm going with a band that is celebrating this album that this song is on 30 years ago. Melancholy and Infinite Sadness came out from the Smashing Pumpkins. And the song is simply called Zero because
30 years ago?
30 years ago was Melancholy. I think it was a freshman in high school yes.
Oh God, I won't tell you how old I was.
I was a freshman in high school in 1995 when that album came out, and like so many albums in that era was just like, I go back to the days of like the CD book in your,
I love the
And
CD book.
yeah, and so many songs were just, once I started driving, were on repeat. Eventually, when I drove,
Yep.
and that was one of them. The double album, they came out with a 30th special edition. And when you have back-to-back zeros on the weekend, on the road,
Works
that's
perfect.
That's what you're going with. So it's a great song.
Real quick rant. I
Yeah.
did not realize how much it would change. Like, I was so excited to get my first iPod and not have to use the CD book.
Yeah.
Take me back to CD book days. I want it back.
I know. In one of our cars, like, we still have the CD player.
Yep.
I don't think we've ever used it.
Yeah.
Ever used it. And
I haven't used it in my
forget
truck.
that it's there.
I know.
Honestly.
I
Oh,
miss the CD days. I do.
Locked on
Simpler
nostalgia.
time.
Yeah.
Simpler time.
So, all right. That's going to wrap it up for today, everyone. So thank you for tuning in and making this your first listen of the day. Always appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow with anything going on in the Avalanche world. So make sure you're tuned into that one. He is Mr. Zach Pearson. I am Chris Micieli. This is the Locked On Avalanche podcast. We'll see you guys tomorrow, where, of course, you will have made it through another 24 hours where Sidney Crosby's that much closer to being with the best team in the NHL, the Colorado Avalanche.